Welcome everybody, if you're just joining us. This is the 11th annual Jim Daly Bisons Classic. We're just getting started with the women's 4x2 here. And they're off to a clean start. So we have Mantle Bisons out in lane 6. Looks like we have Alberta in lane 5, Lethbridge in 4. Pardon me, it was Regina in 5, Alberta in 3. So they're coming up. Alberta making the pass on the Bisons there in white. The handoff to Brianna Tynes. And as they're coming through, that is the Alberta coming out to the front. Regina close behind. Lethbridge making a push from behind as the Bisons come up in 4th. It's a tight field so far. Brianna Tynes hands off to Nicole Davis. They're off a slight gap with the Mantle Bisons, not too far. Lethbridge is out in front after a big kick from their second runner. Nicole Davis making up some big ground here, going into the last bend and into the last handoff. Alberta and Lethbridge are out in front. Regina and Manitoba close behind. Oh, bit of a miss handoff from the Bisons here. And that is Alberta taking it out in front. Followed by Lethbridge, followed by Regina making a push. And so coming through it is lane 5, Alberta, followed by Lethbridge, Regina, and Manitoba. And it looks like Manitoba, it looks like the winning time there is 1:40.68 coming through. So some solid times there all around. So came in late to the stream. My name is Connor Boyd. I'll be doing some play-by-play and commentary as we go through. I'm also joined by Tanner Bennett, who will be running our camera.
Sure. Yeah, it's glad to be here on this nice Friday evening.
Yeah, so this is, as I was saying, this is the 11th annual Bison Classic, newly renamed the Jim Daly Bison Classic after Jim Daly, who has always been a big part of Manitoba track and field for us. And we got a good number of events tonight. We're starting with the 4x2s, the men's and women's, and then we'll be going into the men's and women's 3K. We also then will have the 1,000 capping off this evening. The men's 1,000 looking to be a pretty fast race. We also have, I believe, weight throw going on our infield, as well as long jump, starting with the women's long jump. And we'll have the men's and women's of those events as well.
Yeah, definitely a lot of events going on in this building. It definitely has a wide variety of different events and, you know, all aspects of track and field.
Just going to move over to the infield. We're going to watch some of the jumps going through. Unfortunately, from our vantage point, can't give you a ton of information on the distance that we're jumping. We'll try to get a shot of the camera there. Give me 2. So we're going to be having heat 2 of the women's 4x2 coming up next. Looks like we have Regina B, Alberta B's in there as well, and then the Winnipeg Optimist Athletics Club has a team as well. We'll be sure as the official times are posted, we'll be getting those to you guys as they come to us. We'll also hopefully throughout the weekend bring you some commentary from some of the athletes competing and some of the former athletes who are here, as Bison Classic is always a big event for the whole track and field community in the province. We have lanes 6, 5, and 4 occupied today, and it looks like it is Alberta out in 6, Winnipeg Optimists out in 4, and pardon me, Manitoba B is in 3, Regina is in 5. We'll get this race started momentarily. Yeah, for sure. Alrighty, it looks like the track here is closed now. We're going to be getting the second heat of the women's 4x2 off to a start almost immediately. And there's the call. Alrighty, and it looks like they're clean off the start. And it appears to be Alberta taking some early lead here going into the third bend. And now they're coming to their first handoff. It's Alberta followed by Winnipeg Optimist, followed by Regina. And Winnipeg Optimist appears to miss a bit of the handoff there. And coming into the second handoff, another clean one for Alberta. They're maintaining a pretty strong lead. And Regina just gets it in there. And here comes Alberta through the third and final handoff. Winnipeg Optimist slowing down a little bit to get the handoff, and Regina comes away clean. And that's Alberta coming through the line first, followed by Winnipeg Optimist, and nearly behind is Regina. I believe we'll be moving into Heat 3 of the women's 4x2 right away. Now, it's always important, especially at this time of the year, for the teams to be running many A, B, and C squads, is that oftentimes the relay orders and relay athletes can be in flux. So seeing what each individual athlete can do in their race is always a crucial element for the coaches to find out. And we're going to take you to the shot put pit here in a moment. We're going to look as Lethbridge is So throwing here, and I apologize, I meant weight throw. And a clean throw by Lethbridge there. All right, and now Manitoba is up. And on the track, we have our third set of 4x2 setting up. This will be Winnipeg Optimist Athletics, and 2 heats of Lethbridge. Sorry, pardon me, 2 lanes. And we're just finishing setting up here for heat 3. And we're about to get on our way for the third and final heat of the women's 4x2 here. So it is Winnipeg Optimist in 6, Lethbridge in 5, Lethbridge in 4. And they're standing up. Track is green. No penalties. And he threw off. So it was a clean getaway for all three teams. All three are holding pretty steady. Lethbridge in four seems to be making up some ground. And that's Optimus coming through the line and into a clean handoff. Clean handoffs for each team. Lethbridge in four made up some ground. And they're quickly closing on Optimus in lane 6 as they cut down. Coming through in the second handoff, it is Optimus followed by Lethbridge and Lethbridge. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that is Optimus out in front, and Lethbridge, who is set in lane 5 in second, making up a ton of ground here. A big push from Lethbridge. And in third was Lethbridge, who started in lane 4. Coming through as Lethbridge making a push on the WOA. Clean handoffs for both teams, and it's coming into a very tight last 200. Hope as WOA puts on a little bit of distance. And that is Winnipeg Optimus coming through the line here. And a good run, followed by Lethbridge. And close behind is also Lethbridge. And that'll do it for our women's 4x2. As soon as we have the official results for that race, we will bring them up to you and let you know how everybody was doing. I was just speaking, Tanner, with Erin White, and Erin White is a fifth year. She's one of the captains for the Bisons, and she was just saying how happy the team feels to get to run at home in a meet with so many people. So often they're on the road here, that they don't often get this kind of competitive level at home. So they're very excited about that.
Of course, and it's great that Manitoba's putting on an event like this to definitely bring in the, people from out of town and out of the city to come into this competitive organization.
It's always an exciting weekend here. We don't get, and this is teams from across the country, don't always get the opportunity to race on bank track, and Manitoba's facility is, got a lot of renovations last year, so we were very excited for that. They hosted U Sports last year, so it was time for an overhaul. They were very excited about that. But I was speaking with Erin, and she was saying how happy they were, about the atmosphere and everything, but also about the race. She felt that everybody on the team did quite well. They were really excited about that. There was a last-minute substitution, she was saying, for the team. One of the athletes who was running with them a couple weeks ago had to sit out, and she was just really excited about how the new addition did. So
for sure,
they're very excited about how that race went. And coming up next, we got a really, really exciting race here. This is going to be the men's 4x2. Now, this one is going to be a ton of fun. We do have a few ranked teams here. It's pretty exciting. At the moment, we do have the University of Alberta who's setting up. Now, they are in U Sports ranked 5th at the moment. They ran a 141.38, which converted down to a 139.83. So that's quite exciting. University of Manitoba also ranked currently. They're ranked 8th right now in U Sports with a 142.31. Oh, pardon me. I apologize. I'm jumped right to the women's ranking. That was not correct, everybody. Those times seemed too slow, and it took me a second to pick up on that.
You got results?
We have live, right? So we're just going to pull up the results for the women's 4x2 there, and I'm going to correct myself here. So we actually have the University of Manitoba ranked 6th. They ran a 127.97. So I was talking to their coach, Alec Gardner. He was very pleased with how that race went. He was really excited to see how they compete here. We also have, so going up right now, the results here for the women's 4x2. We had Alberta Golden Bears. They ran 140.66, so they were in first, followed closely behind by Lakehead in 142.23, and the Regina Cougars 142.62.
That's all good. I just figured I'd let you know. No, thank you. It's all good.
I was also just corrected very politely by one of the Lakehead athletes, as I've been mistaken two L-named teams, calling them Lethbridge, and I want to apologize if we have any Lakehead fans out there watching right now. That one's on me, and I apologize. I won't get that wrong again. I got to tell you, my eyesight from up here is not too great. But so I'll correct myself. In fourth, we have Alberta Golden Bear, 142.62, and then in fifth, Manitoba Bisons were 143.28. Sixth, Winnipeg Optimist Athletics, 143.96, and Lakehead Running, 145.59, and Regina Cougars, 147.13, and finally Lakehead Running was 147.28. So some really impressive times all the way around there. And we're just about to get started. The track seems to be closed here for the men's 4x2.
Start lists are here too, so if you want to switch it, and if you refresh, once the results are live, you just refresh it. Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
All right, and here we go. They're taking their blocks. Now for the Manitoba team, I know that we have Sebastian Renier, who will be leading out of the blocks, fifth-year captain for the team. So we have Lakehead in 3, Manitoba in 4, Alberta in 5, and Regina in 6. And a fast start for all four teams here. Now it appears to be Manitoba making up a bit of ground here going into the second turn there. Big push coming from Manitoba. But Alberta managed to hold off there. Going into their first handoff, and it's clean for Manitoba. Alberta. Regina, I apologize, seems to get a little bit caught up there. Lakehead is making a big push on the inside, as is Regina, and we have a fall there, taking out Regina and Alberta. Lethbridge stumbles, but they managed to get through there. Manitoba is still leading. So there was a fall in the second turn there of the second runner. And going to the third handoff, Manitoba is wide by a large margin there. It unfortunately looks like as we're going, a number of teams had a few slip-ups. Manitoba had a pretty rough handoff in the final handoff. And the other teams hit a little bit of a snag when they fell. But coming through, it's Manitoba first. Lakehead comes through. Alberta, Regina.
Physical start list too. It's out of order. No, you should be good.
Alrighty, so quite an interesting race there. You know, Tanner, it can always be tough, especially in those 4x2s. Those guys are going incredibly fast, and that's where the real breakdown and the real skill of these athletes happens, is in those precise moments. And, you know, it's always scary.
For sure.
Myself, I was a distance runner, and when we were doing our relays 4x4, you know, when you're getting shoulder to shoulder with those guys, it's scary, especially in that 4x4 where you get a lot of
exactly.
A lot of sprinters going really, really close. And in this 4x2 in the indoor, when they cut down, it can sometimes be a really deadly turn there. You know, everybody's fighting for their space, and nobody wants to give up that room to the other competitors. So
for sure, and you know, just because the lack of equipment, you don't really have that protection, unlike a sport like football or hockey. You know, even in something track and field, you don't really expect those injuries, but
They're
one wrong step, you can be out for a long time.
Oh yeah, they're it's a lot more common than you feel. Okay, so we're going to, as we find out the results, we'll get those up to you guys, because with that 4x2, you never know what if teams are getting disqualified or what might happen there. So as soon as we find out about that, we'll let everybody know here. We will be moving into the second heat relatively soon.
And I do just want to bring up that Manitoba, with that great push in the lead there, really solidified their first place, I believe, in that race.
Yeah, it was a very exciting race. That first leg is always such a fun one to watch when there's nothing really impeding and you don't have the handoffs to affect how people are racing. You just see the raw speed, and definitely Sebrenier had a really big push there, so that was great to see. Regina did manage to hold them off, and that was an impressive and very impressive starting leg. So we'll see how this second heat goes. Here we will have Lakehead running in 4th. The Alberta Golden Bears will be in 5. And Manitoba Bisons will be out in 6. We're also keeping an eye on our... tonight we had the triple jump, and I mistakenly called it the long jump, I believe. We had the triple jump and the weight throw competitions. And as we get those results, we'll be reading those to you guys as soon as we can. Coming up next, after we finish these 4x2s, we're going to have the men's and women's 3,000. So that'll be a fun one to watch. A lot of the times with those longer distance races on the track, I shouldn't say a lot of time. All the time, it becomes a mental battle for those athletes to really find that push to keep going. Especially through the 2nd and 3rd kilometer there. It really is a mental test there, and a different kind of race in the sprinting events where it is also very mental for each athlete, but a lot of raw speed and a lot of raw power there. So we got a really fun night ahead.
And definitely with those longer races, it's more of a mental state, when to really kick it into high gear, when to push, or if you just keep a pace the whole time. It really wears you down once it comes to the last lap, and by then you just got to push through it.
Absolutely. All right, so it looks like we're just about to get set up here. And there is a call. So once again, that is Mantle in 6, Alberta in 5, and Lakehead in 4. All slipped up again. There we go, and that is a clean getaway for all 3 teams there. Looks like Alberta's making up a bit of ground. And that is Manitoba's Marcel Dufault holding off Alberta. A handoff to Noah Hoffman there, out in 6. Noah Hoffman making a bit of push right off that first handoff, right off that start. See if Alberta can hold him off. Coming to that turn very fast. Wow, that is quite something. Noah Hoffman comes out of that bend. Really finishing it hard. Now that is to James Teschuk. A little bit of a long handoff there. And it looks like they pulled out as they left the exchange there. So an unfortunate development, but we have Alberta off to a strong lead, followed by Lakehead. And that's Alberta coming into the third and final handoff. Very nice handoff there, very clean, good execution, and Lakehead coming through as well with a successful handoff. And Alberta's holding a nice and strong lead going into the final turn and coming out in the last 50 meters here. And that is Alberta taking the heat, followed by Lakehead. That can always be the tricky part about these races, and you know, it is things that you know, athletes from the very beginning to the very end struggle with. It is really nailing those handoffs in these 4x2s, and you know, in outdoors when it's a 4x1. You have to be so technically precise, and these teams have to really work together, not only in practices to learn each other's movements, but I know it's a lot about team bonding. It's a lot about knowing the athlete who's coming in and the athlete who's leaving. So that was an unfortunate development for the Manitoba team, but it does happen, and they'll have to adjust how they're doing their handoffs between each athlete. You know, it is good that it is still pretty early in the year, so these this is a fun meet to kind of work out some of these kinks here,
sure.
and figure out what our teams are going to be doing.
Yeah, and I mean that handoff is just so important. You know, just you run for the entire track, and then it just comes to this one moment where everything can either go your way or it can't, and we just saw what unfortunately was a mistake on Manitoba's part there.
Absolutely, but as always, all great athletes will find a way to take something positive out of what could potentially be a negative experience. So I know, and knowing Marcel and Noah and these guys, that they'll find a way to take what they need to out of that experience, and they'll put it to better use, and they'll come back stronger here.
For sure.
Alrighty, guys. So right now we got a bit of a lull in action here. Next up is going to be the women's 3K. That'll be quite the exciting race. We're going to get you the information about who's competing in that one right away. We have some talented athletes, and it's going to be fun to see if we can put up some good times. Like I said before, the bank track always, historically has managed to post some pretty quick times. The one detriment to that, compared to some other ones, is some would call it a detriment, some would call it a positive. There are no conversion times to this, so whatever you run here is what you run. And speaking to the athletes through the years, some see that as sometimes a negative, that they don't get that little added bonus, but I know a lot, and I would say primarily most, really like running on that bank because your time is your time, and there's no sort of added or some sort of asterisk beside anything there, and more often than not, these bank times can really yield some quick stuff.
For sure, and there's even if just being inside, there's a huge difference to indoor and outdoor tracks as well.
Oh, absolutely. And it appears that we're just marshaling the team there on the inside of the field. And we're going to be checking the results here in a moment to see if we have any information for you on the 4x2 now. With the action that took place there, it might take them a little bit of time to get going, but we'll see. First, I'll tell you right now, the competitors we have here for the women's 3,000 meter. We have Jasmine Fedema from Alberta in 1, Heather Maxfield from Lakehead in 2. That is Kaylee Timo from the Regina Cougars in 3. We have Haley Beeman from Lakehead in 4. Tiana Dodds from Regina in 5th. And Catherine Lucas from Lakehead in lane 6. And Sophia Nowicki from Lethbridge in 7. There we go. Got it right that time. Once again, I apologize for that. right, and they're just getting the track all ready to go. All right, now we have some exciting times here. Jasmine Fedema is actually ranked 10th right now in Can West, so I'm sure she'll be looking to improve her time. And they're onto the line there. And they're off. So even at the 3,000 meter, that start of that race can always be a little tricky, making sure that everybody gets out fast enough that they're not boxed in or trapped, but also not dangerous enough that they could hurt themselves or other athletes. Apologize about that, folks. So that was through their first lap. Now, I didn't quite catch the time, so we'll be sure to get that on the second 400 there. Now, of course, this is the 3K, so it is 15 laps around. Seem to be holding pretty steady here. I'm going to wait till I can see the front of everybody's singlet, so make sure I'm calling out the right teams, because the blue does get a little jumpy on me there. So that is Lakehead out in front. Followed closely by Lethbridge and Lakehead. Followed by Regina, Lakehead, and Alberta. So it's a really tight pack there. Oh, and Regina appears to be moving up here. So as they're coming through the 500 meter mark there. These races are always interesting. You never quite tell how they're going to run them. Sometimes the athletes will want a front-end load, and they'll blow out in a very fast opening K, and then every once in a while, they'll play a little bit more strategic. So coming through 600, we have 207, 208, 209. Roughly about 208 low, 209 high for the leader of that pack. And that appears to be number 7, Sophia Nowicki, out in first there.
And you definitely see them start to spread out into these first few laps there.
It always is the same story. It is usually a tight pack right off the start, and they will start to spread at each lap. So the trick mentally for each athlete is maintaining that contact, because as soon as you're disconnected, even by a couple meters, you're doing the same amount of work, but it feels like you're doing twice. So that was coming through in about 251, 252 for the leaders of that pack. We're starting to see 3 packs develop about. I will say 3 packs. We have Lethbridge and Lakehead out in front, and separating them by about 10 or so meters is a second pack. So we'll call it the lead pack and the chase pack. And then following behind is a lone Lakehead runner. And even within that, we're seeing a little bit of space develop between the 2 athletes. And this can be tough for both of them. One doing the chasing, as I said, it can be mentally tough trying to catch up to somebody, even if they're a few meters behind, especially at this long race. But also for that lead racer, Sophia Nowicki, to keep the mental strength, to make sure you're maintaining your momentum and not to accidentally slow down is really tough, and a commendable effort by all the athletes there.
Sure, and that's definitely, a difficult situation to be in. Eventually, even if you're in the lead, sometimes it's just...
You never know what's going on behind you.
Exactly. At least you can see what's in front of you before you know where your competition is. But
so Sophia Nowicki here coming through in 4:10 there. And our chase pack coming through in about 4:16. Now we're really starting to see these gaps divide here. Sophia Nowicki maintaining and putting on a strong lead, 450 coming through there. Followed by number 2, Heather Maxfield from Lakehead. And we have Regina, Alberta, Alberta, Regina, and Lakehead. That is Sophia Nowicki coming through with about 7 laps to go here. So she's about halfway through, coming through just in the low 5:30s. Number 2, Heather Maxfield coming through. That would be Alberta's Jasmine Fedema coming through in 3rd. So it looks like Sophia Nowicki is putting on a commanding lead. She doesn't appear to be showing signs of slowing down. We still don't have any results up for that men's 4x2, so my impression would be that the officials are taking things into consideration and taking a look at things, but we're not entirely sure. So Sophia Nowicki here is coming through into 1K to go. She's coming through 2K at 6:57 roughly. And that is Alberta's Jasmine Fedema and Heather Maxfield coming through in 2nd and 3rd. 2K in roughly 7:08, 7:09. So now we really get to see the athletes start putting on the pressure. A lot of the 3K athletes, especially indoors, are cross-country athletes during the season, and this is where they can really get the distance events going, classical distance, I'll say. So that is Sophia Nowicki passing Lakehead. Just going at 800 to go here. A really commanding lead here by Sophia Nowicki. Now, she came in with no time as of right now. So it'll be interesting to see what she puts up on the board. I would presume that her no time just came from her having not raced it at all yet this season. And that is still Sophia Nowicki with a commanding lead. However, Jasmine Fedema is starting to make up a lot of ground. She seemed to have been saving a lot for that last K. And that is Heather Maxfield, I believe, coming through in 3rd. However, she was passed by Alberta, or by Regina, pardon me now. I didn't catch the number, but I'll be sure to do that on their second pass through here. Be a little tricky with the 3Ks to keep everybody in order as they start passing each other. So we still have Sophia Nowicki in the lead. However, Jasmine Fedema is making up a ton of ground, even in that one lap. She was really catching on. So this looks like we're going to have an exciting last couple of laps here. So that is Sophia Nowicki in 1st, followed by Jasmine Fedema. Now that is Heather Maxfield and Kaylee Timo doing a little bit of battling there.
And it definitely looks like there's, you know, 2 battles for first, and then there's a battle for third there.
Absolutely. There, you know, if Jasmine Fedema, and now she's got to really start moving here, because even though she's made up a lot of ground, that is still a lot of space she has to do. She is looking to be picking up speed, but it seems like Sophia Nowicki sort of clued in that somebody was coming up to her and has started to put on the jets here. That was a bell lap here, so we're going to the last one. So it'll be a tough one to see if Jasmine can catch her, but I think Nowicki will hold it off now. However, we do have Heather Maxfield and Kaylee Timel doing a lot of battling here for third place. See if we can get their shot in there for you as they're both coming around. All right, so that is Sophia Nowicki coming in to a commanding lead here. Jasmine Fedema did make a massive push. She was in third or fourth. And it looks like Heather Maxfield has managed to, for now, keep the challenger off out of Kaylee Timel. But Kaylee Timel is really pushing hard here. But it looks like Heather Maxfield will hold off there. And Kaylee Timel in fourth. A really impressive run by both athletes. That looks like Tiana Dodds coming through in fifth. An impressive run by her. And going into the bell lap would be Catherine Lucas. But coming into the finish here is Lakehead's number 4, Haley Beeman. An impressive finish by her. Now, it can always be troublesome when you get a little bit of a gap put on you to really maintain that strong race. So an impressive feat by all athletes tonight.
Definitely, and it's definitely, you know, important to make sure you finish the race no matter what the place you're in. It definitely helps with moving forward and, you know, learning.
The mental state, absolutely. So here we go. That is Catherine Lucas coming in now into the last 50 meters here. And she's making a push for the final kick there. Ever important. And there we go. And that is our women's 3,000 meter completed there. Impressive race by all athletes there. We're really excited to see that. So we'll be getting the men's 3,000 going right away. I can see them on the infield speaking with the officials, getting their final important instructions, and we'll get you the list of those athletes almost right away. This is shaping up. This one will be an exciting race to see. I know we have talking with a couple of Manitoba guys. They've got some times out there that they want to hit, so I'll be excited to see if they're chasing on to people and how they're holding on. Hopefully we won't see too tactical of a race, because sometimes tactics can end up leading to slower times when you're going for a win more than anything. But usually at this point in the year and at a meet such as this, they're really going for the times over anything else. Now we're going to take a quick peek here. I believe we have men's weight throw going on the infield there. And that is Manitoba's Eric Ivanovich. I always mispronounce his name, and I apologize to him. And a clean throw there, but they're just in their warm-up phase, getting everything shaken out there. So we'll keep the camera on there, as I tell you. Right now in the men's 3,000, we have Darcy Harder from Roadkill Running, a local club in Manitoba. Daniel Heschuk is in lane 2. Daniel Heschuk being a former Bison athlete alumni, having graduated this year with a pretty impressive history in the 3,000. We have Kaylin Kolb, from Regina. Matthew Johnson from Regina in 4. Lamek Afawerki from Stride Ahead Tough Track, a local club here as well. Nicholas Kosmenko, also a former Bison or not former. Nicholas Kosmenko has a pretty big reputation in the community, as he is a little bit older than most of the guys, but he still has his eligibility. He's one of our longest, I'll say longest serving Bison athlete. So I'll stop talking as they're about to raise a gun here. A seasoned veteran is what we'll call Nick Kuzmenko. And the 3,000 are off. There we go, nice out to a quick start, and I'll finish giving you the start list here. So Nicholas Kuzmenko in 6, Quinn DeRoche's Mantle Bisons in 7, Gordon Flett from Roadkill Running in 8, and Noah Cocamilio. I apologize again. I can't even read their singlets. There's a good chance I might mispronounce a couple names, everybody, so I'll try to do my best there. So Daniel Heschuk out in front. That appears to be Matthew Johnson in 2nd. And also from Regina, following him up, is Kaylin Kolb. And in our chase pack, it appears to be Strathead, Tough Track, Lakehead, Quinn DeRoche's from Manitoba, and Nicholas Kuzmenko from Manitoba, and followed by our 2 roadkill athletes towards back here. Daniel Heschuk appears to be putting on a pretty good opening lap here. To be coming through 400 in 66, 68, 69. A very impressive start for our pack. Daniel Heschuk, Bison Athletics Club now, has put on quite a bit of space there. Now, as I'm checking here, we do not have any results up yet for the women's 4x2, or for the men's 4x2, pardon me. However, we do have the women's 4x2 results are live, and I'll give you those stats here as the men are finishing their run. So in the women's 3,000 meter, that was Sophia Nowicki, and she ran a time of 10:24.83. Jasmine Fedema from Alberta made a time of 10:31.19, both impressive times there. Heather Maxfield from Lakehead did a 10:38.33. Kaylee Timo from the Regina Cougars in 10:40.27. Tiana Dodds from the Regina Cougars in 10:58.68. And Haley Beeman, from Lakehead in 11 minutes 12:38, and Catherine Lucas in a time of 11 minutes 48:59. So congratulations to all of the athletes, very impressive races. Now we are going into the conclusion of their first 1,000 meters here. So the first K, always a crucial part of the race to see where athletes are standing here. So Daniel Heschuk has put on quite a commanding lead right out front. And as he comes through, that is a 2:48, 2:49 first K. Very impressive there. And Matthew Johnson and Caleb Kolb coming through in 2:58, 2:59. Quite impressive there as well. And that is our second chase pack. We also have Quinn DeRoche's in 3:06. Lakehead just behind him in 3:08, 3:09, followed by Nicholas Kuzmenko. So impressive runs there by the athletes. Now, towards the back of our pack, we've kind of separated into 3 groups. We'll try to get you an image of that when we can. We'll give you a full picture of how the track's looking right now. Here comes Daniel Heschuk. So as you guys can see, that is Matthew Johnson and Kaylin Kolb coming through in sort of our Regina pack, followed by our stride ahead tough track athlete. That would be Quinn DeRoche's following him, followed by Nicholas Kuzmenko and Lakehead's Noah Cocamilio. I'm going to call him Noah from now on, so I don't keep messing up his name. That is Daniel Heschuk coming through again with a pretty commanding lead. Daniel Hestruck just came through. He's got 7 laps to go, so he's about halfway through there. So I'll try to get you his splits at his 2K time. Kalen Kolb, Matthew Johnson come through. Matthew first there. Stride ahead, Tough Track is behind him in terms of placement, followed by Quinn DeRoches and Nick Kosmenko. There is Daniel Hester coming through. Now we do also apologize. We don't have a high up vantage point, so every once in a while we'll get some athletes moving by in the frame, and that is A-OK. Kalen Kolb, Matthew Johnson coming through. It looks like Kalen Kolb is taking the lead over Matthew Johnson. So this should be, if I've managed to count my my laps correctly, there is a good chance that I haven't, however, but we'll try to get you Daniel's time as he comes through. Should have 5 laps to go, and he ran through at about 5:45, 5:46 there. So an impressive 2K for Daniel. Kalen Kolb coming through here, and about 6:02, and Matthew Johnson about 6:04. So Kalen Kolb has put on a little bit of distance. Right ahead coming through in 6:08. Kalen Kolb has put on a little bit of distance on his teammate there. He's still got a ways to go before Daniel, but we'll see if he can close up that gap. Now this is Daniel passing by Nick Kosmenko there. Nick should be coming through in about 6:22. I managed to keep everybody straight. That is Noah coming through about 6:35 there. Impressive time for himself. Kalen Kolb coming through. And this men's 3,000 is really spread out. I'm going to do my best to try to keep everybody straight. Quinn DeRoches still powering through. Now he's in a bit of a gap by himself, so we'll see if he can try to work up to stride ahead's Lamech. Already now, Kalen Kolb is running for second, also somewhat by himself. Matthew Johnson is getting passed, I believe, by Lamech from Stride Ahead, or from Tough Track, if I have kept everything straight here. Daniel Hestruck coming through, looking very strong there. We'll see how his last K is going. We'll try to get you the time going into the last lap. That is Nicholas Kosmenko and Darcy Harder coming through. And Kalen Kolb. Now Kalen is starting to slow down a tiny bit, but we'll see if he can push through. Lamech seems to be making a lot of moves here. Matthew Johnson coming through. Daniel Hestruck just got the bell, going through at about 8:08. So we'll see what he can accomplish there. I'm sure Daniel will want to go sub 8:40. I know he'd like to really close out, and he's making a big push there. So there should be Kalen Kolb also coming through pretty soon. Try to get you Daniel's time as he comes through here. Kalen Kolb coming into his final lap, about 8:35. Daniel coming into the last 50 meters there. It looks pretty good here. And Daniel Hestruck with an 8:44.77 unofficially on the clock. So a very impressive race for him, having led effectively gun to tape, so they would say. And that is a battle for second going in. Lamech has made a move against Kalen Kolb, but Kalen Kolb is not going down without a fight as he really pushes through. An impressive finish there at about 9:08 and 9:09 there for those two athletes. Very impressive finish. Quite something there. Lamech seems to be pretty excited on the track there. We're going to try to find out what his time was, see if that might have been a PB for himself. And that is Matthew Johnson coming through there, and Noah going into his last lap. And that is Nicholas Kosmenko. So it doesn't appear to be any personal best there on the track as of yet. But nonetheless, quite the exciting races there. It's always fun to see in those last kicks what people are willing to do to really take that lead. And that is Noah from Lakehead coming through, an impressive time for him at about 10, 10, 10, 11. And so we have our two roadkill athletes still on the track here. And that is Darcy Harder going through. And that would be Gordon Flett there. Left coming to his final bend. Always exciting to see our races range in age. It's always fun to see the Manitoba athletics kind of spans many, many years, so that is exciting to see. You know, I am just checking here. We still do not have any results up for the men's 4x2. Apologize about that, folks. We just saw Sebastian Renier, one of the Manitoba captains for the sprints team, and also the lead leg in that men's 4x2. So wanted to make sure that we got a word out of him on his thoughts on that race. Now, it can always be tough asking athletes when something like the fall and the missed handoff happens. But, you know, Seb had I'll wait till there's a Gordon Flett coming through, and this is final going into the last lap. So that is Gordon Flett finishing the men's 3,000. Congratulations to all those athletes. As soon as their times are up, we'll be sure to get those to you. No, as I was saying, I was talking to Seb, and you know, he is obviously, you know, whenever an accident like that happens in the 4x2, you're obviously not ecstatic. But what he did say is that he was really happy with how the team performed leading into that last handoff. He thought that everybody seemed to be together. Everybody knew what they were doing with their teammates, and they were very excited for how that went. So he said he feels very confident that once they iron out a few kinks here and there throughout the whole thing, they will have he said a very exciting team, and he's very excited to see them run at Canada West and
Definitely
for their meets. So that was good to hear from him.
For sure, and it's definitely, you know, those small little details that all it comes down to. But, you know, when you work as a team, really it just, you know, flows together really well.
Absolutely, and I mean, the reason there are meets like this where you can get those out at a high level. So that was Lethbridge there in the men's weight throw. Now that throw was a foul. So this is Manitoba's. I'm going to make sure, because I apologize to him because I tried to make sure I got his name right earlier, but, you know me. Yeah, so that is Manitoba's Eric Ivanovic going into his throw. And that one was also a foul. So I'll give you the list of our throwers at the moment, who we have out there. And we'll try to get back to you there as much as possible. I believe coming up next, that would be Brayden Klippenstein from the Lethbridge Pronghorns there. So we'll see how this goes. White toss from Brayden there, and it's good. And we'll see if we can hear a measurement. We are a little far away, so we might not be able to do that for you guys, but we'll try our best. The men's weight thrower now, we have Reese Rutko, Andreas Troshki, Josh Suelza, Xavier Crosby, Ben Ingarvoldson from Lethbridge. I apologize. I also should say Reese is from Regina, Andreas is from Lethbridge, Joshua is from Manitoba. We have Xavier Crosby from Lethbridge, Ben is from Lethbridge, Parker Allen from Lethbridge, Eric Ivanovich is cleared from Manitoba, Braden Klippenstein from Lethbridge, Graham Wright from Manitoba, and Spencer Unaru from Lethbridge. So that was Graham Wright throwing there. So up next on the track, we are going to have the women's 1,000 pretty soon. We'll keep it on the shot put for now. I'll let you guys take a look while they're setting up. Should be an exciting race there. We have a few exciting athletes in the women's 1,000 here. So that appeared to be a clear throw from Spencer Unaru. Now, in the women's 1,000, we are going to see Kyla pardon me. Sorry, I was reading two names there. Kyla Nygum running from the Regina Cougars. Now, she is currently ranked 11th in U Sports. So that is an exciting race. She has a time of 2:56 on a flat track, converted down to 2:54.56. We're excited to see how that race goes. So that was Reese Rutko there throwing.
Feel free to move.
Adjusting our camera a little bit here.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. For sure.
I should say earlier in the night we did have the women's weight throw, so we'll read you out those names now. As of right now, we do not have any weights, and we came in a little bit late, so I'm not sure where that is, but in case we miss it before we get it on there, we have Kira Andrew from Mantle Bisons, Janelle Sunderland throwing, Regina Cougars, Danielle Fedek from the Regina Cougars, Madeline Sesbo from Lethbridge Pronghorns, Caitlin Biles from Lethbridge, Caitlin Clark from Manitoba, Bailey Purse, Manitoba, Naomi Clausen from Lethbridge, Alexa Matwikuzuk from the Flying M Athletics here, Courtney Allery from Flying M Athletics, Divjot Grewal from Manitoba, and Jessica Bueller from Manitoba. Alrighty, now coming into the men's weight throw here, coming to throw appears to be Joshua Suelzi. I apologize. I should stop reading last names. This is Joshua from the Mantle Bisons going in for the throw. Stepping into the cage. And that was unfortunately a foul. Alrighty, stepping up should be Xavier Crosby. All right, and we're going to quickly turn our attention to the track here. for the first heat of the women's 1,000. Big heat here. We have 11 athletes running. So try to get these names. We have Cecilia Howes from Winnipeg Athletics, Optimist Athletics in 1. Alyssa Moon from Winnipeg Optimist in 2. Margaret Watt from Winnipeg Optimist in 3. Now, before they start, I'll just interrupt here. As you can see, we have the double waterfall. What this means is the 4 athletes on the outside are likely with the fastest split times, fastest times coming in. They're going to be running the first bend out in front, and then they'll be cutting down. So it'll be 50 meters where they're in their own kind of 3 sections, 3 lanes, and then they'll be cutting down. So it's always important for those athletes to get out ahead. Usually they like giving them the space because they need it as they, coming in are usually the faster ones. And then it is important for the athletes in the back to get into a safe position. We're going to get this started going. So clean start there. We'll finish reading out the athletes as soon as they cut down there. There you go. So you always see that big pack bunch up there. We'll see who's kind of coming out ahead here, but I'll tell you, we have Cecilia Howes, Alyssa Moon, Margaret Watt, all from Winnipeg Optimist. We have Olivia Cooper from Alberta, Amy Klippenstein from the University of Manitoba, Kelsey Haksawicki from Regina Cougars, Erin Owens from Winnipeg Optimist, Caitlin Schwartz from Alberta Gold, Robin Ham from Regina Cougars, Kyla Nygum, as I said, from Regina, and Bella Gustin in 11 there. We'll try to keep an eye on who's coming through there for you. So that was through their first lap. All right, so it's kind of strung along into a nice little train here. It's always going to mean some quick times for everybody. So from Regina, we have Regina, Alberta, Winnipeg Optimist, Alberta, and Regina, and then Manitoba and Alberta. So a tight pack there. So it appears to be Kelsey Haksawicki out in front there. I believe that was Cecilia Howes from Winnipeg Optimist in 3rd. We're going to try to get the number as Alberta comes through. So that is Alberta number 8. That would be Caitlin Schwartz. So it'll be, that was through 600, so we'll be coming through 800 here. The 1,000 is always a deadly race. You're effectively running 800 at speed and then topping it off with an additional 200. So I know these athletes are going to face a lot of pain in this last 200, but that's where the real race takes place, is in that final 2. So coming through here, appears to be Caitlin from Regina out in front, 2:19 going through there. Nice pack here, Amy Klippenstein towards the back of the second chase pack. Winnipeg Optimism making a big push there.
This is definitely going to be an exciting finish right here.
Yes, and we have two Alberta athletes making moves here. A lot of people are trying to get a fast time, so 2:44 is on the clock at the moment. Now that was number 3, Margaret Watt, followed by number 4, Olivia Cooper. Quite a big finish by all athletes there. It was hard to try to get a read on the numbers as they were coming through. As soon as the results are up, we'll get those to you officially. That was number 2, Winnipeg Optimists, Alyssa Moon coming through. Congratulations to all those racers. Quite a race there. That was you always like to see that with the 1,000. It is a really fast race there. We'll try to get those results up as soon as we can. We have one more heat, if I'm not mistaken, coming up. I will tell you right now, results here for the men's 3,000. We had Daniel Heschuk from Bisons Athletic Club in 8:44.76. Kaylin Kolb in 2nd in 9:08.70. Lamek Efawerki from Stride Ahead in 9:09. Quinda Roches, Manitoba, 9:20.29. Matthew Johnson from the Regina Cougars, 9:28.67. So Quinn made up a little bit of ground on Matthew there and managed to get by him. Nicholas Kosmenko, 9:37.56, University of Manitoba. Noah from Lakehead Running, 10:09.96. Darcy Harder from Roadkill in 10:39, and Gordon Flett from Roadkill in 12:41.64. So congratulations to all the athletes. All right, now we have the second heat setting up here, the women's 1,000. So I'll get you those names first. I'm not trying to play catch up as they're running through. We got another big heat here. 13 athletes are running. Morgan McDonald, Winnipeg Optimist in 1. Aspen Schreier, Manitoba Bisons in 2. Felicia Ross in 3 from Winnipeg Optimist. Sarah Novaskowski, Regina Cougars in 4. Hannah Lysiuk, Last Mile Athletics in 5. Alyssa Rooney, Moose Jaw in 6. Sarah Gross in 7. Candice Christie from Winnipeg Optimist in 8. Quinn Anderson from the Bisons in 9. Marina Gross from Last Mile in 10. Simi Rai from Alberta in 11. Adriana Davis from Regina in 12. And Angela Croker from Winnipeg Optimist in 13. So quite a big heat here. And you'll see once again the double waterfall there and the green pylons. You can see just in the corner of the frame there is their marker. It's also a blue line separating lanes 3 and 4, so that is where they cannot pass. If they do, that would be a disqualification. So we'll hopefully see another fast race here. Still no results on that men's 4x2. I'm going to, for now, presume that we won't have any for the next while, so I'm going to stop bothering you guys with trying to update it like that. After this, we will have the first heat of the men's 1,000. Now, that is going to be quite the exciting race, I think. Got a number of talented athletes coming into that. Give you those times in a moment here, as they're clearing the track here for us.
On your marks.
And they're off here. Appears to be a clean start. Well, the test is always that cut down to see. I'll make sure we get you guys to the to the triple jump as soon as we get a chance here. Off to a quick start. Now they are spreading out into a bit of a train here. I said sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes that can be a little rough. So that is number 9 out in front. That is Quinn, not number 9. I apologize. I misread that number. Quinn Anderson is a little bit behind here. Now I appear that those are Last Mile Athletics out in front. I believe that is number 6, number 10, number 7 out front. Number 6 would be Alyssa Rooney, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Number 10, Mariana Gross from Last Mile in second. And number 7. Trying to get you some actual times here. I believe one of the numbers is upside down, so what I'm reading is 6. I don't believe is correct. So that is number 9, 10, 7 coming through there. And I believe Manitoba's Quinn Anderson just pulled off to the side there. I want to say that number 9 that I called it is actually number 6, Alyssa Rooney, as Quinn Anderson is supposed to be number 9. See if we can get a better look at what's going on here. So Alyssa Rooney, I believe, is out in first. Simi Rai in number 11 is in second. Try to call it out as we count. I believe we have a bunch of mixed numbers. I might have been giving some false information about our start list here. I want to say I believe we have a bit of a mix-up numbers here. So I'm going to not try to assume. I am impressed. We had the lead time come in about 3:04.63, so a good time there. I'll try to get you the official results as we go through. And there was Manitoba finishing there. As soon as we get the official results, we'll get those to you as soon as we can so that I'm not making assumptions about what athletes ran and what times there. I think we might have had a scratch or two in that event, and I was not provided that information. So as soon as we get that, we will pass it along. Bring us to the pit here while they set up for the men's 1,000. Now, I was a little bit earlier in the day talking to Simone Biroba, the 5th-year captain of the Bisons distance team, about how he was feeling about this race and in general about this meet. Simone said he was very excited to compete, and he was excited to see the whole team compete. I know the distance team has quite the family dynamic, I would say, going on there. So he was excited to see all of his friends compete and see how they could compete in this race specifically. Mike Wood also put up a pretty solid time recently at Golden Bear Open, about 2:31. Speaking to him, I know that he always in the back of his mind has the wall of 2:30 that he wants to go under. He says he's just trying to get in there, ride along with the fast guys as they go through and see if he can bring that to a quick time. Simone did say the team he feels is looking very fast and they're feeling very ready to compete. So they've been on a bye week this last week. So he said they're looking a little anxious. They're ready to get out on the track and, so to speak, put money where their mouth is.
For sure, and it's definitely, a little different getting out those, those nervous jitters right before you haven't gone in a while. And
Absolutely.
Bringing back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Shaking the rest off a little bit is always a good thing. So it looks like they're just finishing setting up here. We'll keep it on the pit here for a moment. Now, I believe that was GF Naquanta jumping there. I'll try to keep that measurement in focus there as they update it. So GF, a Bison alumni, now running, now jumping. So let's see what that was. 14.65, an impressive jump there by GF Naquanta. So he is running for the Winnipeg Optimist Athletics. I believe they also have a group titled the MB Flight Project with himself and a few other high-level field athletes, few jumpers there. Al-Haji Mansouri, who won gold at the U Sports Championships last year, and Oyinko Akinola, also a member of that group as part of the Winnipeg Optimist Athletics. Is it this one?
So we're setting up for the men's 1,000 meters, with the first heat, and leading the Bisons team, we have Simone Biroba. This year he got he was put on the wall of recognition for an outstanding performance from last year's 4x800 meters, which he brought back home gold in his own home grounds.
I will also mention here we are joined by Reno Kemboy, one of the Bison athletes. He is currently is redshirting this year, so he came by to help us out with our 1,000-meter narration here. And we have quite the fast race here in the men's 1,000. Right now, Simone Biroba is ranked 4th in U Sport, so we're very excited to see how that goes. Simone is an athlete who likes to get in a fast race, so you can always count whatever he's in, he will try to push the pace no matter what. We do have a number of athletes here. TJ Mcbride, or Alexander Mcbride, also talented, managed to run 2:30, I believe, in Golden Bear. Mike Wood, 2:31.
And I can speak a little bit about Mike Wood. We joined the program together in the first year. And Mike Wood has been phenomenal. I've watched him grow from the time we joined in his first year cross country up to the athlete he is right now. Right now, his time's almost rivaling Simone Biroba. And today they'll be going neck and neck to see who can go under sub 2:30.
There we go. There is the men's 1,000 there. So on the far left, we have Mike Wood and Simone Biroba standing there. That is Matthew Van Schepdale running for straight ahead tough track there. I believe he might be going out as a pacer. I'm not entirely sure. Usually his 1,000 is not necessarily his event per se. He was a 600-meter runner. He also is a former Bison athlete. Now I'm just going to read you out here our start list. We have Cameron Fensky from Alberta, Rhett Brailsford from the Regina Cougars, Michael Wood, Manitoba Bisons, Colin Warwick, Lakehead, Robert Chalet from Alberta, brayden Topher, an impressive athlete from Regina, Alexander Mcbride from Regina, Brendan Calif from Alberta, Ron Maclean from Regina, and Matthew Van Schepdale from straight ahead. Ron Maclean also a ranked athlete in U Sports in the 1,500, so I think this will be very excited to see how he does here. That is Brendan. So on our double waterfall on our outer lane, that would be Matthew Van Schepdale, Simone Biroba, Ron Maclean, and Brendan Calif. On the inside, we starting in number 1. That is Cameron from Alberta, Rhett Brailsford, Michael Wood, Colin Warwick, Robert Chalet, brayden Topher, Alexander Mcbride. A very fast 1,000 coming up.
On your marks.
Here we go, and they're off. Quick start by the boys there. A little dicey on the infield there. And always be a challenge. You really got to get out. You really got to get
up ahead. We have Matt Van Schepdale. We have to mention how much of a phenomenal athlete he is. He brought in gold alongside Simone Biroba, Connor Boyd, hosting with me right here today. So proud of him, and it looks like he's actually pacing because this speed is quite incredible. He's gone out at 26 seconds.
27 for Simone there, an impressive time, followed by Alexander Mcbride, Brendan Calif, Ron Maclean, Rhett Brailsford, brayden Topher, Mike Wood going neck to neck there.
So they're starting to string out right now. These are the moments where everybody's trying to, has jostled and got their position that they want to maintain right now. And towards the end, you'll see them starting to shift positions. But as for now, we just have a single string of line.
So this is Simone Biroba coming through 400, like we said before. 1,000 is basically 800 plus 1. 56 going through, very impressive time. 57 for that beginning of that chase pack. And that chase pack is a big one. Now it looks to be TJ Mcbride, Brendan Calif going there, holding steady. Ron Maclean coming through behind, brayden Topher. Brayden Topher, I know from past experience of racing with him, he does have a very impressive kick at the end, so I'll be excited to see how that goes. Still a commanding, I'll say commanding for now, but with the 1,000 you never know. Simone Biroba out in front. Matt Van Schepdale leading him through. 600, 126. I'm not sure, there we go. Matt looks to be pulling off there. All right, so now it's Simone out, and he's going to really have to do that mental work to keep this race going, keep that pace up.
I have to commend the Regina Cougars. The 3 boys have been there in the middle all along, working together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Racing against them is always tough because you can't pass them. If you pass one, there's 2 more ahead of you.
Here comes Simone. Ron Maclean made a big move up. Here we go. Good times. 154, 155, 156 coming through. Really impressive. 157 Maclean. Now, number 5, they're moving up here, would be Robert Chalet from Alberta, impressive athlete himself, and he's making a push past Ron Maclean, Simone Biroba. Those second and third are really fighting. Topher, brayden, Calif coming through. We'll see what Simone can do coming in through that last 100 meters, last 75, last 50 coming through here. Looks like Simone's going to push. We'll see if he can hold them off. 123, 124, 125, 126. He's out here, folks. Looks like 126.00 for Simone Biroba. That would be a new personal best. It looks like that was an incredibly fast race.
What an incredible performance by Simone Biroba.
Holy smokes. Let's get a shot of Simone down there. Let's get a shot of these boys. All three, I would assume that 1, 2, and 3 all came through below 228. I might have said 1 there at the end. I wasn't even thinking. But what an incredible race for those guys there. Quite something.
What a payoff. We've seen him work so hard through the season. He's always aimed for this time lower than his low from a PB, and now he's got it. He worked for it, and he got it.
He's been, yeah, absolutely. Simone is a driven athlete, and I know that he was, he's been going after that. He's been trying to break that 227 for a while, and I believe his PB was 227 low for a few minutes there. Not a few minutes, for a couple, for at least a year, and to break it by almost a second and a half is quite something there. I'm going to go see if I can get a quick word with Simone while he's right in the heat of the moment here. I'll leave you with our two hosts here for a moment. Go.
And right up next, we have the second heat for the men's 1,000-meter race. And we have one bison here by the name of Darian Hull. He'll go to the lane 8. And the start list, I'll read it to you right now. On number 1 is Turon Daniel. 2, Fenton Scott from Regina Cougars. Cornelson Derek from Manitoba Bisons. Matthew Exner. Actually, there's more Manitoba Bisons than I expected. There's Matthew Exner of Manitoba Bisons. Aiden Good from Edric Access. Jacob Smith, a former Bison for Regina Cougars. Justin Croker from Stride Ahead. Darian Hall again from Manitoba Bisons. Calvin Raymer, Manitoba Bisons. Cook Nicholas, Alberta Gold. And Topher Adam from University of Alberta. And William Boyle from Winnipeg Optimist. And as we had it before, we have a waterfall starting line.
The double waterfall there, yes.
Yep.
So I'll wait until this is over here. Or this, until it started, pardon me. There we go, another quick start for the men's 1,000 here. A lot of really talented athletes in this heat too. Both heats are really gunning for some fast times there. Now, I did get a word, Simone managed to sneak off. Obviously, he needs to cool down and do his proper post-race plan, but managed to get a word in with Claude Rube, head coach of the Mantle Bisons, also Simone's coach, and Mike Wood, who said both, those are both PBs for both of them, 226 flat, it looked like, for Simone, and that is Darian Hull out in front, and about 230 point. We don't quite have that time for Mike Wood, so both really impressive times, and especially without that conversion, that is their time. So congratulations to the other athletes and to the other athletes. I know that was probably a very exciting time for both Brendan Calif and Robert Chalet, as well as Ron Maclean. So we'll, as soon as we get these times up, we'll get them to you guys. That's Darian Hull going through in first.
58. And I'll put a lot of emphasis on Darian Hall. He's such a phenomenal athlete. I've gotten to race with him. He's always a front runner. That's why he's up ahead already. He's gone through 400 at 58, and he's still leading the pack. In the back there, we have a pack that's chasing Darian and two other athletes from Alberta and from Stride Ahead.
I'll try to get you their time here as they're coming through 600. Looks to be 129 for Darian. That is number 10 and number 7 coming through, so that is Nicholas Cook coming through behind him.
And we have Alberta heading to the lead.
So that would be Nicholas Cook passing Darian Hull here, coming into their final lap. Another quick time here. As Nicholas Cook, Darian Hull, and number 7, that would be Justin Croker going through. 203, 204, very impressive there. Nicholas Cook seems to be opening up a bit of time. I believe that is his brother Adam Topher making a push. As I said, the kicks in the Topher family run deep, it looks like. So that is Nicholas Cook, followed by number 11, followed by Darian Hole, number 12. So that was Nicholas Cook, Adam Topher, Darian Hole, 1, 2, 3 going through that. A very close race for all three athletes. Now we're going to try to get you to take a look at the jumps here. And that was a jump by Alberta. We'll try to get you the distance on that guy there. So some impressive thousands coming out today. That is always exciting to see. You never know with some of those distance races how they're going to treat them. But like we said before, Simone is a runner who likes to go fast whenever he gets a chance. So I think he and the other athletes knew that they had a really deep pool today and a big opportunity to really get some good times. And it looks like they took full advantage of that.
And Connor, watching these varsity athletes makes me just want to jump in, and race with them because they do it so beautifully. And you can see the passion in their eyes when they're crossing through this 200-meter mark every time.
Years and years of hard work, that is for sure. So I'll get you the list of the third and final section of our men's. The third of 4 sections of our men's 1,000 meter here.
We have quite a turnout today.
Yes, indeed. So we have Sam Lamont from Kelvin High School, and the local high schools here. Carson Corvetti from Stride Ahead, Tough Track. Ben Lawson from Lakehead. Josh Stovall from Lakehead. Jesse McCabe from University. Our thing cuts off here. Number 5 from the University of Alberta. Michael Bachmere from U of M. Justin Benjamin from the Manitoba Bisons. Brady Farmer, Manitoba Bisons. Alexander Brandt Ganding from the Manitoba Bisons, and Joseph Smith out there.
Justin Benjamin is more of a 600-meter athlete, and he goes by the alias Juice Benjamin. It'll be interesting to see what he can do over at a longer distance in the 1,000 today. Let's see if he can bring the juice to the 1,000 meters.
Here we have in the infield there, we'll try to get you a peek at this. This is GF LaQuanta doing his triple jump. You need the crowd in the background there, and
that looks like a big jump, Connor.
Looks like a big jump. I'm glad that we got that. He seems pretty excited about that. We'll take you to the track, and we'll see the start of this, and we'll try to get you back for that distance. And they're off. It seems to be a clean start there. We'll see if we can get a... Oh, we're hearing a cheer. We're going to try to get a look at what that distance was. 15 meters flat, so quite the jump there for GF. A marked improvement over his last jump, which was 14 high, I believe.
We got to mention that GF is a medal-winning athlete ever since when he competed for the Bisons. Now that he's an alumni, it's such a sight to see that he can still compete even after graduating, and how much passion and how much he gives back to the sport.
Absolutely. So we'll try to get you their times as they come through 400 here. The gentleman.
We got Brady Farmer.
Brady Farmer seems to be pushing up. That would be Jesse McCabe from Alberta. I believe that is Joseph Smith and Justin Benjamin in our kind of front pack there. And we have a very tight second chase pack. There's not a lot
Is Juice Benjamin going to go for it?
He seems to be moving up a little bit. Brady Farmer's taking a bit of a commanding lead there. We do have Alexander from the Manitoba Bisons pushing up to that second pack.
Brady Farmer has always been the man to take initiative, and you can see he saw that this pace was slow, and he decided, nope, I'm going to go to the front, and hopefully my Bisons will follow me. And you can see he's
coming through
leading the pack.
132. So it's so he's running about just faster than 31 split, so not a bad time for himself. I think he'd love to go under that 2:35 mark. So it is a Manitoba lead here. Brady Farmer, Justin Benjamin, Alexander is just passing him there, going into that turn.
Alexander Brandt had an injury over cross-country season. We watched him work his way out of it, and now he's
ready to compete. All right, here they come through their last lap. 204, 205 for Brady. So they're really going to have to push this last lap. Looks like Alexander's going to start making some moves here.
Looks like the high schooler is challenging the university student. This
We
is
do
more of
have-
a David Goliath kind of story over here. Let's see what he can do.
Big kick
And it looks
here.
like he's going for it.
It looks like a big kick from Sam Lamont coming through. It is always, you always get these exciting races, especially, Manitoba. You get a lot of high school athletes competing all the time, so it's exciting to see. And it looks like he's putting,
And we got Kelvin High School.
he
Kelvin
seems
High
to be
School for the
making-
win. Oh!
He seemed to really be getting close in on some of it seems to be getting really shoulder to shoulder on Alexander there.
That is an incredible performance. And we have to mention that Kelvin High School is also a feeder high school for the track program we have here at Manitoba Bisons.
Yes, it is one of the largest schools in the city, so it does give us a number of strong athletes here. So that was the completion of our third of 4 heats for the men's 1,000. So this would be heat 4 of 4, mainly local athletes here, some of the younger guys. It's always fun to see them out there, and especially after such a race like those first couple of heats of the 1,000, to see everybody, maybe they're inspired. We'll say that. I know I would be if I just saw somebody run 2:26.
And of course, the 2:26 performance is by Simone Biroba. It's his season's best, and it's his personal best.
Now I'm gonna try to pull up now. Obviously, the rankings don't update immediately, but it would seem that a 2:26 would put 2:26 likely wouldn't jump Simone's placement in the U Sports ranking. Just with his converted time, it's a little bit faster. However, it is, I know as an athlete, very exciting to know that you have a faster time in you when you get to those flat tracks. So I know Simone will be excited with that one, and especially going into Ken West, where a lot of these times, that move into U Sports come out of the placements at Ken West. You can hear the crowd for the triple jump going there. I believe that is Joshua Villanueva jumping, if I'm not mistaken. And a good jump by him. We'll pull back to show you the start of the heat 4 of 4 of the men's 1,000 here. As we said, mainly some of the younger guys, they'll do the standard waterfall there. You always get a wide varying of both athletes and results in these races where it's the younger guys there.
And of course, the blue and the turquoise colors represents the Winnipeg Optimist. It's one of the biggest track clubs here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and it helps develop. We have a big jump there.
On your marks.
Kind of bouncing back and forth between a few places here. And they're off. So they can get right out to the front as well.
I mean, you gotta get jostle and show your strength at the beginning to secure your position. Give a little threat to your other competitors.
Absolutely. So that is going through 300 here. I apologize, we did not read out the start list of these gentlemen's race, so we will give that to you now, and we'll try to track where they are at. So heat 404 was Hayden Lysak from Last Mile Athletics, and I believe he is out in front there. Second, Cole McCullough from Winnipeg Optimist Athletics. Jace Harry from Winnipeg Optimist, Owen Berg from Winnipeg Optimist, Ashton Boyle from Winnipeg Optimist, Gavin McCullough from Winnipeg Optimist, Joshua McKay from Winnipeg Optimist, and Luke Townsend from Winnipeg Optimist. So a lot of Optimist athletes in there. in the background of this event, GF Naponta starting the clap for his long jump rhythm, triple jump rhythm, pardon me. And he's going to take off there for a moment. Try to get you. And unfortunately, you can see the red flag there. Appears to be a foul.
It is very rare to see a red flag on GF and Quanta. Having watched him jump for a couple of years, it's a rare sight to see.
And it does happen even to the best of them, that is for sure. And so this will be the gentlemen coming through their fourth and final, coming through their fourth lap into their final and fifth lap. So 2:23 there for Hayden Lysia. I'll also give you here, while we have it now, things have been a little exciting on the track as soon as so that was Hayden Lysak coming through in an impressive 2:56.02. So it appears that might have been PB for Hayden, so congratulations to him. I will read out here, we have the results of the women's 1,000. So we had Margaret Watt, Winnipeg Optimist, 252. Olivia Cooper from Alberta. Olivia Cooper from Alberta in 254. Robin Ham from Regina in 255. Caitlin Schwartz from Alberta in 256, 28. Bella Gustin from Alberta, 256.66. Very close time there. Kyla Nigam from Regina in 257.25. Amy Klippenstein, 7th from Bisons, 258.07. Kelsey Haksowitsky from Regina, 258.43. Mariana Gross, Last Mile Athletics, 304. Angela Croker, Winnipeg Optimist, 304. Pardon me, Mariana Gross is from Last Mile. Angela Croker, Winnipeg Optimist, 304.82. Candice Christie, Winnipeg Optimist, 305. Felicia Ross, Winnipeg Optimist, 305.42. Alyssa Moon, Winnipeg Optimist, 306.67. And that was Simi Rai from Alberta, 310. Aaron Owens, Winnipeg Optimist, 314.29. Morgan McDonald, Winnipeg Optimist, 323. Alyssa Rooney, Moose Jaw Rotary, 323.80. Aspen Schreier, Manitoba Bison, 335.31. Hannah Lysiak, Last Mile Athletics, 336.68. And Sarah Gross, Last Mile Athletics, 344.03. So congratulations to those competitors.
And just to mention, a great display of athleticism from those young athletes in that last heat there, really pushing through and showing that there could be some future stars there.
Absolutely. Okay. Now we do have some official results here, and even more exciting than the 226 flat that we saw on the clock there. Simone Biroba, Manitoba Bisons, 225.98 for him. Wow. Congratulations to him. So a massive PB. Robert Chauvet, Alberta, 226. Ron Maclean and Regina Cougars, 227.12. Brendan Calif, Alberta, 228.13. Brayden Topher, Regina, 228.50. And Rhett Brailsford from Regina, 229.26. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all sub 230. So congratulations to those athletes. Quite an incredible feat. Michael Wood, 230.55, an impressive time for him and a massive PB. And like I said, I was speaking to Mike beforehand, and I know his plan was to just hold on to that. Pardon me, everybody. Give me one moment. Was to hold on to that front pack and just see how long he could be in there. And I'll commend him because he was in there quite a while, and it worked. It secured him a very, very impressive time of 230.55. I know moving into Can West in his next couple of meets, he'll definitely want to go under that. So congratulations. I'll read out a few more. I'll read you. We have Nicholas Cook, Alberta, 230.83. Cameron Fensky, Alberta, 230.85. Adam Topher, University of Regina Track Club, 231.63. Darian Hall, Manitoba Bisons, 232. Impressive there. William Boyle, Winnipeg Optimist, 232. Now he is a 2002 born. So congratulations to him, a bit of a younger athlete there. So 2:32, very impressive to be running against these university athletes. Justin Croker straight ahead, 2:32.68. Calvin Reimer, Mantle Bisons, 2:33. Jacob Smith, Regina Cougars, 2:35. Alexander Mcbride, Jacob Smith from Regina Cougars, 2:33.89. Alexander McBride from the Regina Cougars, 2:35. Now I'm going to pause you guys here for one moment here. All right, so we're getting all set up here, but we have an exciting development in who's with us right now. So we have, thankfully, we have both Simone Biroba and Mike Wood here.
Hey, how's it going?
That is Simone Biroba and Mike Wood.
How's it going, man?
All right, so we're, gentlemen, we just were reading the results out. Very impressive times for both of you. Simone, that was a massive PB, 2:25.98, and Mike Wood also a large PB, 2:30.55. How are you guys feeling after that? And how, speaking to the guys down on the track, the other athletes in this event, how is everybody feeling on the team?
It's feeling pretty good. I want to give a shout out to Matt Van Schepdale for pacing the race. Went by a bit quicker than we wanted to, but I pulled through, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm glad there was a decent amount of teams out here to push me and have a decent competition, so I'm just glad the race went well.
Always exciting to have that kind of competition, especially on your home track. Mike, how are you feeling, and how are the athletes feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It's kind of been a couple weeks since we raced, but we had a big, hard week of training, so you just kind of got to trust that. And getting on the track, like I didn't quite get out kind of as fast or where I wanted to be, but just being in a good heat like that just helps push the paces and get PBs.
Sometimes you just get pulled along to those good times.
For sure.
That's awesome. So moving into tomorrow, what's on the docket for you guys?
We were both running the 600 tomorrow.
600 now, Simone. And for Mike, this would be your first 600s of the season. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the mentality going in here?
Basically every other 600, just go out like a 400 and just embrace the painful death of the race.
Yeah, it's not my strongest race, but it's always good to drop the distance a bit and get a bit more speed work, especially helps out for those 800s and 1Ks, final stretches of those. So yeah, it should be fun.
Especially after such a successful first day of the meet, that second day kind of seems like icing now, and it's just about seeing what you guys can accomplish.
Yeah, especially the 4x4 as well at the end of the day. It's important race, trying to get the win here secured, so looking forward to that.
It's going to be exciting stuff. We're going to be excited to see you guys. Maybe we'll hear from you tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining us.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
Congratulations. We'll see you guys later. So that was Mike Wood and Simone Biroba who came in to talk to us. So congratulations to those two athletes and to the rest of the Manitoba Bisons and all the athletes in that 1,000. So the results are live there. We're going to take you here. We have just remaining the men's weight throw competition going on, but I believe that they are tearing down now, and in all the excitement of the race, we're going to try to get you some results up here. It appears that our field results have not quite loaded yet, and our men's 4x2 as well have not loaded. So what we'll be sure to do when we come through tomorrow is to give you guys the full catch-up on the events that were completed today. So for now, we'll leave you guys here, and we'll see you guys back bright and early tomorrow. The first event, I believe, will be starting at 10 o'clock. I'm going to double-check that, and we'll be live right here, same time, and we'll be with you for the whole day. So the first event tomorrow will be starting at 10 a.m. Now that'll be the open women's 60-meter hurdles. We got two heats in there. We got another number of talented athletes. Madison Lawrence, who actually just recently set the pentathlon record for the University of Manitoba, will be in there. And events run all the way until 4:30, and it'll conclude with the, as Simone was saying, the men's and women's 4x4. So with two very fast teams, so it'll be exciting to see them compete. The relays always get pretty crazy in here.
Sure.
So
and should be definitely an exciting another day of just great athletes showing off their skills and showcases.
Absolutely. So thank you for joining us for today, and we will see everybody back here tomorrow. Congratulations to all the athletes who competed today, and good luck to everybody who will be competing tomorrow.